Dynamic, articulate, perceptive, courageous, outspoken.
Welcome back to the dojo. We got another reaction for you. This time it's Florida father of 12 posted his killing spree on Facebook, taking the lives of mother, cousin, and ex-girlfriend. Now, this sounds like a super crazy story. Super crazy story. It's on a YouTube channel called Crime of Passion. So, I was scrolling around, I seen this title, and I was like, yo, what? What? Okay, well, let's see.
But truth is, I cannot accept love because I am a broken man. I'm more broken than a total car without the help of a tow truck.
See? At least he's honest. At least he's honest. See, you gotta... When people tell you who they are, you gotta learn how to believe them. This man said, I am a broken man. I am more broken than a total car. I can't accept love because I'm broken. Too many things this man been through in his life to where he probably can't trust anybody, let alone women. He can't trust nobody. So I wonder what's going on with the story.
Manatee County Sheriff's Office says the suspect was on his way to hurt more people in Georgia before getting into a shootout.
I asked the Lord to remove me, rebuild me, reaccept me. But the Lord told me he had to have a conversation with the devil before approval.
He walked in.
What? He got to talk to the devil first. Man, what? So, I'm guessing in this man's mind, he feels like he's a child of the devil, and the devil has to give him over to Jesus or God before he can be rebuilt or reaccepted. Maybe this man did something to where he don't think he's accepting of God or the Lord or Jesus Christ or forgiveness. I don't know this man's story, but it already looked wild. It already looked wild. The way he talking, you know what I mean? It sounds like he want to make it to heaven, but he don't think he's worthy of the kingdom. That's what I'm getting from the first 30 seconds of this video.
To that hotel room, looked at the mother and said, I'm sorry. She asked, what did you do? And he shoots her 3 times.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Society laughed at me. Society joked about me. So when I walk this earth, I'm laughed at. Laughed at from the deaf, from the blind, from the weak and the broken.
Disturbing social media posts from the man deputies accused of killing his mother, cousin, and another woman Monday night.
He knew exactly who he wanted to kill, and he.
Let me look at that.
The man deputies accused of
Baby, I love you too.
Killing his
Kyla D. Black Mom.
Mother, cousin,
I love you, but you had to go.
And another
I love you, babe. Koya Bryce. See you in.
Woman Monday.
He don't say nothing. Just say, oh. They blurred it out. I guess it say see you in hell.
Night.
He knew exactly who he wanted to kill, and he did not have a hard time locating them.
Just please accept me for who I am.
This episode contains mature themes, including topics of obsession, betrayal, and violent acts, which some viewers may find distressing. Viewers' discretion is strongly advised. They say there's a calm before every storm, a moment of stillness right before all chaos is unleashed.
I want to know, what was this man dealing with? What kind of demons was he fighting? Because he was fighting some serious demons to be talking the way he talking and to be doing the acts that he did. This man was going through some serious tumultuous activities in his life, man. This man went through all the turbulence. Like, I can't even tell from just looking at it or listening, but you could tell that this man had had mental issues, and the people in his life probably wasn't making it no easy for him to fight and face his demons. I want to know.
On the evening of June 25th, 2024, in the quiet streets of Bradenton, Florida, that calm came and went without warning. 3 women, each tied to the same man, would not live to see another sunrise. What makes a son turn on his own mother? What drives a man to pull the trigger on the very people who trust him most? Within 2 short hours, 28-year-old Javonte Bryce would shock an entire community, leaving a trail of heartbreak and questions no one can easily answer. In the hours leading up to the carnage, eerie social media updates hinted at a troubled mind.
Since I can't catch you, I'm gonna catch your brother. You got me effed up. We already seen the pig I love you, but you had to go. Man, bro, what was this man dealing with, man? I wonder if they can shed light on what this man went through. Like, is there anybody who can give us a synopsis or look into this man's life? Like, because I'm looking at a lot of times when the media gets onto somebody's case or story, they don't really go in depth about who the person was or what caused them to become who they were in that point in time. Like, a lot of times you're just gonna be left with unanswered questions and you're gonna have to be doing guesswork. But bro, this is a lot to take in. This is a lot to take in.
Disturbing social media posts from the man deputies accused of killing his mother, cousin, and another woman Monday night.
He knew exactly who he wanted to kill, and he did not have a hard time locating them.
And once the first shot rang out, the spree continued relentlessly until the final confrontation at the Florida-Georgia line. Welcome to Crime of Passion. I thank you, my viewers, most especially my subscribers, for your support as we keep improving and bringing daily told and untold true Crime of Passion stories updates. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. To understand how this all began, we first need to look at who 28-year-old Javonte Bryce was and why those who knew him believed he was on the brink of something dark long before that fateful night.
It looked like he wanted to have a social media presence, and maybe he got on social media and people were ridiculing him and laughing at him, and that's what comes with the territory when you're on social media. Anybody has the freedom to say what they want about you. Like, depending on how you dress, how you act, how you talk, people gonna ridicule you. You gotta have a thick skin if you want to be in a social media arena in any capacity at all, because you always gonna be scrutinized. That just comes with the territory. I had a couple people in my comment section that said some things about me, but it's not important because I don't focus on that. I focus on the positive things that people say, the encouraging things that people say. People want to say something negative, all right, go ahead. I don't gotta respond to your comment. I might if I feel like it, but I don't have to respond to your comment. When people leave me encouraging stuff and good comments, I respond to those, because I feel like you should. When somebody's acknowledging you or giving you big ups or, showing you love, you always supposed to show that back. When it comes to negativity, you ain't even gotta respond to that. And maybe that was something he struggled with, dealing with people online. Could be, but we don't know.
Born on January the 15th, 1995, in Florida, Javonte was raised by his mother, 48-year-old Titamisha Scott, in a large family. He seemed to be your typical active young man, excelled in sports like football and track during high school at King's Senior High in Tampa. After graduation, he attended Minnesota State University and later Savannah State University.
Okay, so he was an athlete. He was an athlete who probably didn't get to make it big. Okay. If I had to guess, he was an athlete that didn't get a chance to make it big. So he felt like maybe his life and his dreams was all over because he didn't make it to the NFL, the NBA, or whatever sport he was trying to excel at. Maybe that's what we're looking at.
Where he continued to run track and enjoyed dorm life. People described him as outgoing, fun-loving, always quick to share a laugh or a motivational quote. By the age of 21, though, he'd become a father, eventually fathering a total of 12 children with different women.
The butterfly, that's old. Let me see the Tootsie Roll. Yeah.
Loved ones on social media remember how proud he appeared, posting pictures and videos with his kids, calling them his prince and princess. Yet behind those smiles, something else brewed beneath the surface.
12 kids, bro. This man fathered 12 children. I don't have any kids, and I can imagine how difficult it would be for me, even with a job, to father one child this day and age. You know what I mean? So there was probably all types of pressure on this man, bro. All kind of pressure on this man to be a man, to perform, to earn money for these kids. I don't know what he was dealing with, but man, that's a heavy burden to bear. 12 children? 12 children. Man, this brother wasn't wasting no time, bro. He didn't waste no time with nothing he did in life.
He wrote poems about heartbreak, mental anguish, and feeling too far gone to be loved.
I remember waking up just to drown in my own sorrow. I remember waking up just to pretend a beautiful smile. I remember trying to plant my pain in the ground. Of course I failed. I remember looking in the mirror and drawing up a graveyard with my heart as the tombstone. I remember trying to slit my wrist without a blade. I remember trying to blow my brains out without a bullet inside of a chamber. I remember standing outside during a hurricane shirtless. I remember swimming in the middle of the ocean without a life vest. I'm still here living. I'm still here living. No, I'm not suicidal. I'm just suicidal of what I've been through. I remember searching for love, but I came across neglect and hate. I remember confessing my love to a woman I once saved, and she stabbed me with the same utensil I paid for us. I remember family and friends laughing at me because I told the truth, how I'm trapped inside a maze and how broken I am of a man, but I'm still struggling for success.
Okay. If we take what he's saying to be true, how he tried to bare his soul to the people that he cared about, right? And they didn't take him seriously and they laughed at him, and you know what I mean? I can understand how that can take somebody over the edge, because you searching and looking for love and acceptance, and nobody wants to feel your pain. Everybody just like, boy, you strong. Stop talking about that. You crazy, man. You ain't nothing wrong with you. You know what I mean? Probably talk to him like that, and he just probably couldn't take it no more because they didn't take what he was saying seriously. So he probably felt as though he had to show them how serious it was, the demons that he was fighting. He probably never forgave them for laughing at him. You know what I mean? That might be what went on.
I remember when I felt the world was against me until God told me to lift my head up. And that success is on the way. Just keep the faith in Him. Now I remember everything. And I use that as motivation. Thank you to society. I remember.
Now, I know you might be thinking, having children and juggling relationships isn't necessarily a sign someone is dangerous. But in Chavonti's case, family members believed he was fighting a deeper battle. He'd been placed on medication for mental health issues. He'd been arrested for domestic abuse, and rumor had it he was hiding a part of himself, possibly living on the down low.
Oh, wow. Okay. that's something I'm seeing with the new generation. Like, it's a lot of bisexualness going on. I talked to a couple people who are maybe like 5, 6, 7 years my junior. I'm not gonna give my exact age. I don't really think it matters. I'm in my 30s. But I'm seeing that there's a lot more bisexual dudes that are younger than me. Like, they go both ways. You know what I mean? When I was in the hospital, I came across a couple. I had got locked up a few times. Somebody confessed, and a couple other people, you could see it on them, like in their actions and how they moved, like the way they would look at other guys. Like, all I know is after I was born in the 90s, like, the world became real wicked and twisted and real confusing for a lot of young brothers coming up trying to figure out who they want to be. You know, and we got all these rappers putting fingernail polish and wearing skirts and shit nowadays. So people are being influenced to do things that they probably never would have did before if left to their own devices. But there's so much influence of debauchery, stupidity, sexual deviancy that goes on in the media, and people see this and want to act it out and emulate it. But it only destroys you from the inside out when you do things that are not of you. You know what I mean? You get turned into something that is inhuman. When you open that Pandora's box, you can't go back. So if this was true and they found out about it, maybe that's why he took them all out. Because, oh, he on the down low. He think nobody don't know. Man, this is a crazy story, man. This is a crazy story. I'm really getting into it now. Like, this is a wild story. Let me take me a quick little break. You won't even know I'm gone. And I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I had to regroup, get my mind right. So, let's continue. This man went through a lot. And if he really was on the DL, then maybe that was the catalyst that took him over the edge. People finding out his secrets.
Was he truly gay or bisexual? Did that drive him to fear exposure so strongly he'd lash out? No one can say with absolute certainty, but many close to him suspected that secret weighed heavily on him. In the months leading up to June 25th, tensions escalated. Earlier in 2024, Javonte's mother, Titimisha, took her 2 young daughters and boyfriend to stay in a local Motel 6. She was giving her son space. His mental health had reached a point where living under the same roof felt impossible. On social...
Okay, so he was 28 and was still with his mom. I understand that sentiment, bro. Like, life these days is hard. It's trying to, especially being a man, trying to get out on your own. You got 12 kids. Like, yeah, man, like, that already is a rough road to travel. That already is a rough road to travel. So him not being on his own or having his own, that may be another thing that, you know, destroyed his mental health, because everybody's saying you're not good enough. You ain't really a man because you're not handling your business like a man. So yeah, this man probably faced a whole lot of ridicule and a whole lot of pressure. And he got to a certain point and he just cracked. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I'm just speculating here. But this is what it seems like to me, given all the circumstances of his situation and what we know about him, or is allegedly known about him.
Social media, friends noticed ominous posts from Javonte. He wrote about heartbreak, being broken, and posted videos with his daughters saying, "I may be broken, but I'll never break your hearts."
That's false. That's false. Whew. I may be broken hundreds of women's hearts, but I'll never break your hearts. I love you so much. Both of y'all first words were Dada. Man, bro, you did break their heart, because they gonna grow up and have to see this. You know what I mean? Man, you broke everybody's heart, my brother. You broke everybody's heart. Tore it to pieces. You wanted everybody to feel what you felt. Two wrongs don't make it right, but man, taking life, that's final. You can't come back from that. Like, you can't come back from that, and they can't come back from that. Man, this is serious.
I love you so much. No one realized these online messages foreshadowed a violent rampage. Even those who had known him for years couldn't picture him turning a gun on his own family. On June 25th, 2024, around 9 p.m., the Manatee County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from the Palomino Trace Apartments in Palmetto. The caller reported a man had threatened a resident with a firearm. By the time deputies arrived, the suspect was gone. But the story they gathered was chilling. According to his sister...
Okay, it says he had been previously arrested for domestic abuse and had a risk protection order filed against him, restricting his access to firearms. Okay.
Who lived there, Javonte walked straight in.
Inside one of those apartments was his sister and a mother of one of the many children that Mr. Bryce has. When he walked into the apartment, he looked at the ex-girlfriend and said, "I have to kill you." Somehow, the sister was able to talk him down and talk him out of him shooting this ex-girlfriend.
He left without pulling the trigger. But this was only the beginning. Barely 17 minutes later, at 9:17 p.m., police believe Javonte arrived at the Motel 6 in East Bradenton, where his mother had been staying with her boyfriend and two youngest daughters. Javonte enters the motel room. He looks at his mother.
Looked at the mother and said, "I'm sorry." She asked, "What did you do?"
Before she can get answers, he raises a gun and fires 3 shots.
And he shoots her 3 times in front of the boyfriend and these 2 innocent young juveniles.
Tita Misha never stood a chance. She died at the scene. In that moment, the closeness they once shared as mother and son was replaced by irreparable horror. Investigators later found that immediately after shooting his mother, Javonte posted a one-word Facebook status: "Love," heart emoji. It's hard to imagine the state of mind required to log onto social media within minutes of killing your own mother. But that's exactly what he did. And heartbreakingly, that was far from the last time he would reach for his phone during this rampage. Not even half an hour later, around 9:30 p.m., a second shooting took place on the 900 block of 26th Street East in Palmetto. This time, the victim was 29-year-old Sequoia Starquiz Bryce, his blood cousin, and possibly, as some rumors suggest, his secret lover. She was outside her apartment, ready to drive away after a casual gathering. Then Javonte showed up.
One of his cousins was at a cookout at this residence. She's starting to get into her vehicle to leave. He then shoots her at that location.
Hopped back into his own vehicle and disappeared into the night. Sequoia was rushed to a nearby hospital, but she succumbed to her wounds within an hour.
She later dies about an hour after this shooting at a local hospital.
Moments after her shooting, Javonte posted again. "I love you, bae Koya Bryce. See you in hell." Those words rattled everyone who read them. Family members soon told police they believed the two had been engaging in a secret affair. And if she threatened to reveal his down-low relationships, that might have been the tipping point. Did fear of exposure drive him to pull the trigger? Investigators still can't definitively say. What's undeniable is that Sequoia left behind 2 young children. Their father was already deceased, so now these kids have lost both parents. It's a tragedy that still haunts Bradenton.
Man, those two young boys is gonna have one hell of a life, bro. They don't got a father or a mother, and their mother was taken out by a cousin. Man, this story is just tragic all the way around, bro. This is pure tragedy, bro. Pure tragedy. He killed his cousin. He killed his mother. Man, he literally went on a killing spree, and he had 12 kids, bro. 12 children.
As if 2 deaths weren't enough, the spree continued. At about 10:04 p.m., just over a half hour after Sequoia was shot, dispatchers received yet another frantic call. This time from a location on the 4,800 block of 51st Street East in Bradenton.
Bryce's next deadly stop, his ex-girlfriend and co-parents' home on 51st Street.
Inside that home was 31-year-old Cheryl Carter, another ex-girlfriend of Javonte's. People close to her fondly called her Pig. She lived there with a new partner and was known in the neighborhood.
Oh, so he was with her and they broke up and she got with somebody else. That may be why he did it, because there's a lot of men that crash out over an ex-girlfriend. There's a lot of men that crash out over an ex-girlfriend or a failed relationship. I don't know if this was the tipping point or the actual catalyst to which drove him over the edge once he found out she was with somebody else. But it's a common thread with a lot of guys that crash out. It's usually over a woman.
As a caring mother who adored her children. By the time officers arrived, Cheryl was dead. She had been shot and left to die on her own doorstep. In a chilling echo of his earlier pattern, Javonte posted on Facebook, "Pig, I love you, but you had to go." At this stage, we have 3 different crime scenes connected by one suspect. A 28-year-old father of 12 who seemed set on eliminating anyone he believed was in his way or knew about his hidden life. The entire community went on high alert as the Manatee County Sheriff's Office tried to piece together his whereabouts. Relatives warned that he was likely heading north to Georgia, where another ex-girlfriend lived. They feared she would be next on his list.
Bryce left the motel and went to a home in Palmetto and killed the young woman who was his cousin. And after that, he went back to Bradenton and killed the woman at his ex-girlfriend's house. All 3 murders happened in less than an hour. Deputies learned Bryce could have been heading to Georgia to kill another ex-girlfriend, so they put out a statewide alert.
Law enforcement across Florida received a statewide alert, or BOLO. Be on the lookout. The clock was ticking. If they didn't stop him soon, a 4th life could be lost. At about 1:30 a.m., nearly 4 hours after the spree began, sheriff's deputies in Hamilton County spotted his car at an Exxon parking lot in Jasper near the Florida-Georgia border.
Hamilton County deputies spotted Bryce's car at about 1:30 this morning on I-75. They followed him to the Exxon gas station off exit 451. They say he got out of his car and started shooting at them.
Dang. So he just went all the way. Pedal to the metal. All gas, no brakes. Once he saw the cops, he said, "Oh, it's over. They're not taking me without a fight." I'm pretty sure he didn't make it to jail.
Deputies fired back and killed him.
Basically, you're not gonna shoot at the cops and get away with your life. It's not gonna happen. So I wasn't surprised to learn that that's how it ended. Once they said he shot at the deputies, I put 2 and 2 together, and y'all saw it here. I put 2 and 2 together. Like that just don't happen. Once you shoot at them, you gotta get taken out.
No deputies were hurt. A woman was in the car with Bryce. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says she was not hurt and is not facing charges. The Manatee County Sheriff says right now investigators don't know why Bryce would have done all of this.
What drove this man to murder those closest to him? Authorities and loved ones offered various theories. 1. He may have been on the down low, afraid that his cousin or his ex-girlfriends might tell the world about his secret relationships with men. 2. Court records revealed a repeated history of domestic violence and mental health crises. He had been Baker acted, involuntarily placed under mental health observation, and was under a wrist protection order that once stripped him of his firearms until it expired. Family members said he refused to stay on his prescribed medication. 3. Everyone he targeted was either a direct threat to his self-image or had abandoned him in some way, like his mother, who'd moved into a motel, or girlfriends who cut him off from seeing his children until he stabilized. Could all three explanations be true at once? Possibly. The answer may never be fully known. The real impact of these murders goes far beyond the headlines. Each woman left behind children. Children who, in some cases, also lost their father previously, or have now lost both parents. Friends, siblings, grandparents, entire families are reeling from trauma that descended in one night. Sheriff Rick Wells of Manatee County offered condolences, emphasizing the need to support the grieving relatives and to uncover more about the lead-up to the shootings. Investigators also scoured Facebook posts, text messages, and earlier police reports to determine if there were missed warning signs or if someone could have intervened. This begs the question: are we doing enough as a society to help those battling mental illness?
I'm going to tell you right now, no. No. Because when people get labeled as crazy or mentally ill, y'all cast them out. Y'all cast them to the side. You don't give a rat's ass about them. You just say, well, sink or swim, whatever. He crazy. He done lost his mind. It's dismissive. You just dismiss them because you think they're crazy. There ain't no real help. And even in a hospital, they can't really help you. You got to help yourself. And I know because I've been in a hospital before. Because my mind was troubled at the time. But what I see more than anything else, you got to help yourself. Especially as a man, don't nobody care about you. Don't nobody care about you except for those closest to you. And if those closest to you stop caring because of your mental health, you're going to be all alone. All alone, left with your thoughts. And that's a dangerous place to be, left with your thoughts.
Before they reach a breaking point. And what do we do if a loved one hints they might be hiding something they feel is unforgivable? Should there be stronger systems in place to prevent individuals with known violent tendencies from accessing guns? Let me know your thoughts below. Mental health concerns aren't always visible to the outside world, but in some situations, like Javonte's, there were red flags. Past domestic violence incidents, Facebook posts about harming himself or others, family members noticing his erratic behavior. Yet, the line between being supportive and being safe can be hard to walk. Sometimes, those close to the person simply don't have the resources or the legal power to intervene before it's too late. If fear of being outed for his sexuality was the ultimate motive, it highlights a deeper tragedy. The stigma that can drive someone to the worst extremes.
Well, I'm going to say this. If he was a homosexual, well, he ain't going to have no shortage of choices where he would have went. But this man's no longer here, bro. This man's no longer here. He got killed by the deputies. It's just a tragic story all the way around. The kids without parents now. The mother who lost her life trying to protect this young man. she wasn't trying to protect him in the moment, but she tried to get away from him so he could maybe sort his issues out. She didn't really know what to do, so she just felt like she had to give him some space or get away from him. You know what I mean? The one ex-girlfriend, well, the cousin, like, bro, it's just tragic. It's just a blood trail the whole way around. And then now these kids got to grow up without a father, without a mother, going to be in the foster care system, unless there's another relative that'll take care of them. But even still, it's just a traumatic experience all around. Everybody's going to be messed up because of this. Their whole family is now messed up.
If they feel cornered or judged. But it's also crucial not to blame everything on one possible reason. Often, there's a mix of mental instability, fear, anger, and the availability of a weapon. A deadly combination. Experts in domestic violence prevention stress the importance of speaking up if you notice alarming behavior, erratic Facebook posts, sudden aggression, or repeated threats. It might feel awkward to intervene, but it could save lives. Nobody wants to believe a friend or family member could be capable of killing their own mother, cousin, or partner. Unfortunately, as we see in this case, it can happen. And so we end this tragic story. 3 women, Titamisha Scott, Cheryl Carter, and Sequoia Bryce, lost their lives, all at the hands of someone who was supposed to protect them. A son, an ex-boyfriend, a cousin. Countless children are left motherless. Grieving grandparents are left childless. And the community still searches for answers. Yet we're left with the same haunting question. What truly caused a man who once shared poems about love and hope to snap so violently? If you've made it this far, I encourage you to reflect on the importance of communication, mental health support, and staying vigilant. If something feels off, don't hesitate to reach out. Whether it's seeking help for yourself or warning authorities about someone you fear may do harm. Thank you for joining me on Crime of Passion. This has been a deeply unsettling case. My heart goes out to every family member and friend affected by the nightmare that unfolded on June 25th, 2024. The best we can do is learn from it, mourn those we've lost, and strive to prevent tragedies like this from happening again. Stay aware, stay safe, and remember, in the blink of an eye, the people we trust can become strangers we fear.
Well, an extremely tragic story. Countless people lost their lives behind this man's mental anguish. He was a broken man. He even told us all that he was a broken man, not capable of love. He was fighting them demons for a very long time. Probably had relationships with men, didn't want it to get out. He got 12 children. Like, that, can you imagine what that would do to somebody's image who's on the down low and they don't want their secret out? They may be primed or prompted to take people out. It makes sense, but regardless of how much sense it makes, the tragedy, trauma, and empty pieces and holes in people's hearts, man. It's just a sad story, and he ultimately lost his life going on a killing spree. Tried to shoot at the deputies and they took him out. Yeah, man, I don't really have any good feelings about this one, but it was a wild, crazy story if you into that. You know what I mean? So, Professor Hawk signing out. Hawk Sensei bids you adieu. I hope you enjoyed this reaction, guys. Toodaloo.